Jon Jones says he wants to be on there too, and he says he would fight whoever the champion is. So would you be okay with him like coming back, potentially winning that belt again?
You know, I felt about him. I can't risk putting him in big positions in a big spot and have something go wrong, especially the White House.
Dana White has finally reached his breaking point, according to fresh reports and insider sources. The UFC president is now seriously reconsidering Jon Jones' involvement in the promotion's highly anticipated mega event, the rumored White House fight card that has the entire MMA community buzzing, and the reason? It comes down to one thing: trust behind closed doors. Tensions are rising. After everything that's unfolded with the heavyweight division, the repeated delays, ongoing injuries, accusations of avoiding opponents, and the complete loss of momentum, Dana White has reportedly confided in those close to the situation that he no longer feels he can count on Jon Jones when it matters most.
You've got a lot of questions about the White House card potentially. Conor McGregor has said he's back in the pool with hopes of potentially fighting on that like a year from now. And then Nate Diaz said he would love to be the opponent. I know you've said that trilogy is something you could do anytime and it would make sense. Are you interested in doing business with Nate Diaz?
I love Nate. That fight's a year away. So I'm not even thinking about anything right now. The landscape will change so much by next 4th of July. You know, who knows what's going to happen? Who knows who's going to be on the card or what the main event will be or who will hold all the titles, and everything could be completely different. So it's not even worth thinking about it right now.
Sure. I guess just one follow-up on that though with Jon Jones.
I have other problems. I'm dealing with the logistics and you know, all the things on figuring out how to make this thing happen. How do we want to do it? I'm going to fly out there in about 10 days, 2 weeks, and we'll have all the renderings done, sit down with him and go through the renderings and see what he wants to do and what he doesn't want to do.
And Jon Jones says he wants to be on there too, and he says he would fight whoever the champion is at that time. But would you be okay with him like coming back and potentially winning that belt again? And you might have to go through.
Well, it's not even about him winning the belt. I mean, you know, I felt about him. I can't risk putting him in big positions in a big spot and have something go wrong.
Fair enough.
Yeah, especially the White House card.
Dana.
Is Jon Jones retired? Is he fighting again?
I don't want to say that I'm retired because fighting is in my blood. Right now, I could really care less about fighting. I've been doing it my whole life at a very high level. When the itch comes back, and if it comes back, then I'll do it with my whole heart. I'll do it to the best of my abilities. I was retired. I felt like I was at a place where I've done it all in the MMA space, and felt like there wasn't too many more challenges for me, and I just wanted to do something more than championships and money. And Donald Trump mentioned that he wanted to have a fight at the White House Garden, you know, and that just seems like such a huge opportunity. I'm a very proud American. I have a lot of close friends that are in the military, and this is my act of I can't call it service, but just to be able to entertain the country and the world at this level at the White House, it just means the world to me. So I'm back.
So they've announced this White House UFC fight. Can we expect to see you on the card?
Yeah, I can't promise anyone anything, but I have very strong feeling that I'll be on that card. I think it's going to be historic.
Who would you take on? Who would be your dream opponent?
I would want to take on a Workers Holding Bill at the year.
Any possible names you think?
Well, you know, I mean, as of right now, the champion is Tom Aspinall, but we'll see who's the champion at the end of the year. The only thing that had an American guy fight for the championship that night, I'd be willing to put it all on the line.
Nice.
And that's a good thing because we're going to put on the best card we've ever done for that White House event. You know what I mean? It's going to be it's a one-of-one experience. Like when we did the Sphere, it's the Sphere on steroids. I mean, it's going to be a one-of-one event. There'll be nothing like it ever again.
UFC is coming to the White House. Now, I saw this. I was like, oh my God, this is insane.
We're going to have a UFC fight. Think of this on the grounds of the White House. We have a lot of land there. We're going to build a little. We're not. Dana's going to do it.
Of course, there's a lot of people out there that are talking shit. The leftist media, they're all out there going, oh my God, this is crazy. They've gone full idiocracy. Look, listen, it's a bit of fun. It's a great sport. Donald Trump loves it, and he's loved the UFC for years. And I'll tell you,
when you're organizing what could be the biggest card in UFC history, a once-in-a-lifetime presidential-level event potentially tied to the White House, you can't afford to take chances on someone who's already let you down, and that's exactly what happened with Jon Jones. Let's not forget, it was supposed to be Jones versus Miocic, the ultimate GOAT versus legend showdown. UFC 295 at Madison Square Garden. A blockbuster main event designed to sell pay-per-views and dominate headlines, but when Jones pulled out, everything fell apart. The card was salvaged only because Tom Aspinall stepped in on less than 2 weeks' notice, delivered a stunning knockout over Sergey Pavlovich, and left fans wondering, was that the real title fight all along?
Do you think Jon is ducking you?
Yes.
Was that Tom?
I think I said, yeah, he is. He definitely is. I think that there's just an easier path for him, and I understand it. I do understand it completely. I understand that there's bigger fights out there for him with way less risk and way more money. I understand it, but in all honesty, do I think he's ducking me? Absolutely.
I do have to ask you about these reports of you being an asshole. Are they true?
Sometimes, yeah. Yes, I think everybody is sometimes.
The craziest thing was when Tom won the last fight in Manchester, I go, Tom, what do you want to say to the champ, Jon Jones? And Tom goes, Jon, you're a really nice fella, and I would love to fight you. And then Jon's like, this guy's a dick.
That's why it's so funny to hear Jon saying that. He's like the nicest guy on the planet. You're the exact opposite of your countryman, Michael Bisping. You're a genuinely nice person. You know what I mean?
Jon Jones, you don't know where you stand. Dana said it's the biggest fight in UFC history now, so...
Yeah, I've had enough talking about it, mate. I'm honestly bored of it. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll just see. I'm ready to fight whenever they tell me, so just let me know. I'll be there.
Everyone thinks you're a bit of like a quintessential good guy. Could we see a heel turn at some point in the MMA world?
We might do. Who knows? Who knows?
Is Jon Jones scared to fight you?
Yes. Jon is conning the public. The fact that he didn't want to fight Ngannou for 3 years and now he's not wanting to fight me for over a year.
Is that fight fucking happening?
The UFC are saying that it's going to happen. I think it's down to him and Dana.
Dana loves Jon Jones.
He's trying to grease up his ego a little bit. I think he's one of the best fighters ever. Definitely top 3. That's debatable when you start putting in about drug tests and stuff like that, I think.
Damn. What drug are you talking about specifically?
Yeah.
But Aspinall, so far, the way he dispatched off
The Russian guy,
oh
yeah.
my God. And he's fast, but he's the same height as me, if not an inch taller, but thick.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're a lot thicker than I would expect.
Yeah.
And the speed, that's the thing that I'm like, okay, that's the danger. But again, grappling, he's a black belt, but Jon is...
It's different.
Yeah. But I don't know, man. They got to fight. But if they don't ever fight, we'll never know. Because we had that with Jon and Silva. We had that with Silva and GSP. So all these fights we will never see.
Question for DC.
Yes, sir.
I saw Jon Jones is back in the testing pool.
Yes.
Talking about going on the White House card.
Yes.
I think with his extensive criminal record, the Secret Service will let him on the White House grounds.
That's such a good question.
That's actually a good question. Well, we always have to pass background checks when Trump's there and he got the fight, so I'd imagine he will be. And I gotta be honest with you. All right, so listen. All right. No disrespect to anyone here. I love you guys so much. You can go to the White House and I'm positive you'll win, right? But if we really need an American to win, right, gotta kind of send Jon Jones, don't we? I mean, seriously, like, I mean, I don't want to do it. Like, I don't like him, but it's like, if we need an American to win, don't we just send the guy that always wins?
Yeah, no, he's going.
Hey, he said, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. And nobody tries harder than me. Are you sure Jon Jones doesn't try a little harder than I do?
I don't know. It's close.
It's close. It's close.
Now, months later, Tom Aspinall is still stuck in limbo, still waiting to unify the title, still waiting for answers, still waiting for the UFC to make a move, and meanwhile, Jon Jones has vanished from the spotlight, dropping hints about retirement, suggesting he might return, but only for a legacy fight, on his own terms, and only if the moment is big enough for Dana White. Enough is enough. Because while Jon Jones is undoubtedly a massive draw, he's also become a major liability. The Aspinall situation left the UFC scrambling. The Miocic fight never happened, and now, with a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity tied to the White House on the table, Dana is reportedly prioritizing one thing: stability, not chaos.
I had heard a rumor that Jon Jones wanted $30 million to fight Tom Aspinall. And I did hear that rumor. And I did hear that the UFC said yes, but it is not true. So Dana contacted me, said that rumor's bullshit. So I felt obligated to tell everybody that was a fake rumor.
What do you think the amount is that Jon Jones would fight him for, or do you think it's an amount?
Well, apparently Jon is thinking about retiring.
Yeah.
And he should. I mean, he's going to have to someday. He should. I'm not saying he should retire. I'm saying he should think about it. Give the man all the time he wants. He can fight whenever he wants to fight. That's Jon Jones. He's the GOAT. So leave him alone. If he decides one day to come back, and he comes back and he wants to fight Tom Aspinall for the heavyweight title, the question is, like, how long are you allowed to hold on to the title before they start having that conversation? Now, he just knocked out Stipe Miocic, so give the man months. Give the man 5 or 6 months. Just leave him the fuck alone. But at a certain point in time, you have to decide who the heavyweight champion is. And if Tom is the interim heavyweight champion and Jon decides he doesn't want to fight anymore, he could do that. And he could do that also and then come back in a year and fight for the title. He could do that. Like, he could do whatever he wants.
Do you think the Aspinall-Jones fight happens?
It's got to happen. I was sitting next to Tom the other week at the UFC in London and talking to him about it.
How do you think that plays out if they fight?
I'll be honest, Tom's a friend. I love Tom. He's one of the coolest dudes in the whole of MMA. Even though Jones is getting old, I just can't pick against Jon Jones. The one thing I do think Jon Jones has got the best in the world and the best ever is fight IQ. He has a perfect game plan to beat that person. As much as I love Tom and I want Tom to win, I couldn't pick against Jon Jones. It's just something I couldn't do.
Did Jon Jones in some way ruin a legacy that could have been the greatest in combat sports of all time?
And here's my answer to that. The only
One of
reason
the best of all time.
Here's my answer to that. The only reason it's in danger of being tarnished is because he didn't take this fight. Because we haven't been thinking about the past transgressions. We've been thinking about this fight. And the fact that he's not fighting this guy, and it's believed, like the great DC himself is saying, yo, he's walking away because he does not want to fight this guy. That's bad. Dana White came to me and told me, look, Aspinall wants that guy. I hadn't even heard of Aspinall. I watched him a couple of times.
If he's really retired as a fight fan, I'm sad. I'm glad
I'm very sad because I think he's the greatest. I think Jon Jones is the greatest.
Incredible watch. So if there's any chance he changes his mind, we'd all love to see it.
Say, Molly, he's the greatest, but what are we talking about? Possibly, people are saying possibly is because he's ducking somebody. That's not good. That's not good.
You tell us the timeline of Jon accepted the fight, went to Thailand, came back, didn't want the fight. What happened?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that Thailand was the end of it. You know, we were talking about it before that. But yeah, the fight was done. We had the fight done a long time ago. So why he decided not to fight, you guys have to ask him that.
Is it accurate that there's a lot of reports about figures he was offered? Is it fair to say he was offered a lot of money to take this fight?
Yeah. Listen, he was offered what he deserves for that fight. Yeah.
I'll just come out and ask you, do you think he's ducking Tom Aspinall?
No. Jon Jones, I said it a million times and I'll say it again. He's never ducked anybody other than that one goopy time with the Chael Sonnen thing. Never ducked anybody. And, you know, I think the reality is whatever changed his mind with this fight, I don't know. You'd have to ask him that. But, you know, he's 38 years old and I don't know.
Do you think if it was someone like Alex Pereira, he would fight then? And it's maybe Tom that he specifically like, doesn't fancy the matchup, doesn't fancy the age difference?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to these questions. Only he does. You know, we had the fight done. Listen, our job is to make the biggest fights we can make and the fights that the fans want to see. And that's what we try to do. But the minute somebody starts talking about retirement, you know, my philosophy on that, you should do it.
Yeah. Did you know about the stuff that came out of Albuquerque last night?
I saw it today. When I saw it today, I said, oh, everybody's going to think this is why he retired. Maybe that is why he retired. Who the hell knows, man? But yeah, I don't know. These are all questions you got to ask him. Yeah. We had the fight done. You know, you saw me talking about it very confidently that this fight was going to happen. And then he changed his mind.
Yeah. Two more quick ones for me. So for Tom Aspinall now, he's the heavyweight champion of the world. Does that defense he did against Curtis Blades count to his official defenses? Because then he would only have 2 more to equal Stipe, or does he have to start fresh now?
You guys are throwing shit at me that I haven't thought about. I have no idea, but yeah, I don't know.
Okay. It seems like the most obvious choice would be Cyril Gahn for Tom. But is there a chance here maybe that, like, to start the new without Jon Jones era, we should maybe do a big super fight and maybe you can convince Alex Pereira to move up and do an Aspinall fight, something like that? Or what are you thinking about the Tom fight?
Well, once I get through today, tomorrow starts International Fight Week. I'll be back in Vegas tonight. And Tom will be there all next week. So we'll sit down with him, see what he's thinking, what he wants to do. He's been great through this whole thing. And literally said, I'll fight whoever you guys tell me to fight. I'm ready to go. So, looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the Tom.
And honestly, you can't blame Dana right now. The entire heavyweight division is on pause. Tom Aspinall, arguably the most active and exciting heavyweight on the roster, still doesn't have a confirmed fight. The interim champ is training, staying ready, and waiting, hoping the UFC finally makes a call. And what's causing the delay? Everyone knows. The UFC is still waiting on Jon Jones, but with Dana White reportedly changing his tone, that might finally shift, because if Jon Jones isn't guaranteed for the White House card, if Dana is stepping back, refocusing on fighters who show up and deliver, then maybe, just maybe, we finally get the answer the division's been waiting for. Maybe Tom Aspinall gets the spotlight he's earned. Maybe the UFC moves forward without the constant guessing game that surrounds every Jon Jones headline.
Who's the next big heavyweight star?
Tom Aspinall, the guy who
Of
just
course, who
won
just
the
won.
interim title. He's phenomenal. And he is, again, the next advancement of the evolution of the sport.
How so?
Well, because he can do everything. That guy's got elite jiu-jitsu. He's got elite takedowns. His striking is outstanding. I mean, he knocked out Sergey, who's the scariest fucking striker in all of MMA.
Yeah.
And he knocked him out in the first round. And the way he did it was just picture perfect. And he did it with a fucked up back. He fucked his back up and wasn't able to train. He only got the fight call 2 weeks before the event.
I was just going to say, right?
Yeah.
Like
couldn't train.
He
His
couldn't
back was
train.
fucked. He just went out there and fought. I knew Aspinall was going to have a speed advantage because he's faster than any heavyweight.
Yeah.
And that's something that his coach drilled into him when he was young.
Speed.
Like, be fast. Like, you got to be fast. That's what's going to separate you from everybody else.
Speed kills.
Speed. And he's a giant dude, 260 plus pounds, but he moves like a fast young guy.
Yeah.
And he's also just so well-rounded. And he's just beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, that was really the first big...
Baku, Azerbaijan, site of this evening's UFC card on ABC. Dana White is asked, maybe 11 or 12 minutes into the press conference, he is asked, what's going on with the heavyweight title? In essence, I'm paraphrasing. And he proclaimed, so he was sitting on this, he didn't even announce it at the beginning. Didn't even start the whole thing with it. Talk about burying the lead. He announces to the world, Jon Jones is retired. He called us last night. He is no longer the UFC heavyweight champion. Tom Aspinall is the heavyweight champion. He is then asked in a subsequent question, all right, well, who is Tom going to fight? He said, oh, Tom's coming to International Fight Week. We're going to sit with him. You know, we got the meetings, all this stuff. They don't even have that ready. Did they tell Tom even before all of this? They say Jon Jones called him up last night. Coincidentally, 2 days ago, this interview with the Nelk boys that was shot on Saturday after the DBX card is making the rounds, where Jon Jones essentially says, I'm not so into it. He all but says he's retired. This could have happened 7 months ago. This could have happened on November 17th. The fact that the illustrious career of Jon Jones, the supposed greatest of all time, ends at a post-fight press conference in Baku, Azerbaijan, is a joke. Is an absolute joke. I'm sorry, but this is an absolute joke. Tom Aspinall is going to Las Vegas. At the very least, present him the title. At the very least, do something to make it up for this guy who has been sitting there watching his career just waste away for the past 7 months. Oh, by the way, his last fight was almost a year ago, 11 months. Do something. This is the way it happens. This is the way it happens. Something that could have happened at the post-fight press conference in New York. Jon Jones never wanted to take this fight. And anyone who tells you otherwise is not telling you the truth. As I've said time and again, Jon Jones asked for a lot of money. He asked for the number that everyone was talking about. He's asked for a lot of money, and as I said time and again, he deserved that money. He earned that money. After much negotiation, the UFC got him that money. Did they ask for help? That remains to be seen, but they got him the number. And Jon Jones said he was in. And then a couple of days later, he said he was out. And ever since then, the UFC has been trying to convince him to come back, to take the fight, one last fight. And he said no. He's doing the reality show. He's living his best life. He's doing seminars, all this stuff. He's tweeting away. And so they've known for quite some time, several months, that he was out. Dana White told us a couple of weeks ago. What did he say? Jon Jones agreed. But I told you all, he wasn't telling you the real story. He wasn't telling you the full story. The full story was he agreed and then he reneged. Dana White guaranteed this fight would happen. He guaranteed it would happen as recently as a couple of weeks ago. It was already not a thing. The way in which this has been handled has not been great. And the fact that Tom Aspinall, at the very least, couldn't get some sort of, oh, here's the belt, here's a ceremony, here's your fight, here's your date, is shameful. Now, ultimately, Tom doesn't care about any of this. He really doesn't. He just wants to fight. It was never about Jon Jones. As I've said time and again, Jon Jones was a great addition to the whole scenario, to the equation. Oh, wow, I could beat Jon Jones to become UFC heavyweight champion, undisputed, incredible. Look at me, look at the stars have aligned for me. But ultimately, this guy just wanted to become champion. He wanted to prove he was the best. And by the way, he has been the best for the last couple of years.
You're athletic, you hit hard, you pose problems. We don't have much data on you, meaning that we don't know what happens if you do. And this is me speaking from an analyst and like my experience in MMA. Like if I was to fight Tom Aspinall, okay, what do I need to do? Okay, he's very fast, very athletic, light on his toes. Okay. He blitzes across the void. So if he gets across the void, can I take that shot? A lot of people have not been able to take that shot. So if he gets across that void and I get hit, I might go fucking down. That happens, you become the biggest fucking star ever. You just slayed the GOAT in a lot of people's eyes, right? Or if I go out there, Jones' eyes, if I go out there and I beat him, it was just as his words said, he's here today, gone tomorrow, right? So that's my opinion, like from his standpoint, or maybe he wants $40 million. I have no idea.
Make no mistake, this isn't just about trust anymore. It's about respect. It's about who's pushing the UFC forward and who's holding it back. And with each passing day, the picture gets clearer. Tom Aspinall is ready. Jon Jones is a question mark. So whether it's Cyril Gane, Jailton Almeida, or Curtis Blades, Dana White might finally be ready to book the future and leave the past behind. Because when the UFC walks into the White House spotlight, Dana wants fighters he can depend on, and right now, Jon Jones isn't one of them.